Stephen, big game tomorrow night. Was this the toughest possible draw Pats could have got?
Yeah, without doubt, it was the toughest draw we could have got. And even if whoever we get in the next round, it's not as tough as this one. So this is as tough as in the third round draw. You shouldn't be getting a team like Beşiktaş. You definitely should not. They are normally in the group stages and automatically. So it's that's the draw. You deal with it.
I'm sure you're going to say it's not a good time to get them, but there's obviously a lot of speculation about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's future, and after the defeat to Shakhtar Donetsk, does that give you a potential greater opportunity over these two games?
Well, it's funny because when I seen the draw initially and we said, well, Shakhtar finished fourth in the Ukrainian league last year, so I was thinking, right, we could end up playing them. But when you've seen Shakhtar play, they had so many Brazilian players in the team. They were rapid. They were really high level. Shakhtar, I'm really impressed with them. They were very good. And Beşiktaş have a lot of, obviously, top international players. Some really good attacking players, and that couple that played for Portugal against Ireland. And obviously Abraham up front is an England international. And so they've got a lot of good attacking players, but from our point of view, we're looking forward to the game. We've prepared as well as we can. 120 minutes Thursday, 90 in Waterford on Sunday. Dust ourselves down yesterday, today match day preparation, and just get on it and try and get that fixture that we need.
So what is the impact of that schedule on your preparation? Is it more a physical thing for the players trying to recover, or is it for you as staff in terms of the amount of research, the amount of analysis you can do on what they're going to bring tomorrow night?
Yeah, that's all a challenge, but I think from my point of view, it's not just when you play 120 minutes on Thursday, and then I was very proud of the players on Sunday because they went to Waterford and early bus Sunday morning after a late Friday and put in a really good performance. We won well. So I think it's not just physically, it's psychologically. Then 4 days is okay, actually. It's much better than the 3-day turnaround. 4 days is okay between Sunday and Thursday. But psychologically, actually getting up for the level, the match that you need, to the levels you need to be, because you've got to play beyond yourself to even compete with these. You've got to play up levels to compete. So psychologically, that is a challenge. The staff side of it and the coaching side of it and the analysis side of it, that's fine. We'll manage that.
Yeah. Where are you in terms of the schedule at this time of the season? Because Stephen Bradley seems quite comfortable with the Sunday-Thursday turnaround at the moment. Maybe they're not facing a team of the quality of Beşiktaş, and maybe they're further along in terms of the development of their squad. Do you want a rush of games at this time of the year, or do you feel actually maybe the bye weeks should be held back for the latter stages of qualification?
Yeah, no, we were playing Sligo on Sunday in between the games. Beşiktaş have got their game off the weekend, their league game. They're playing the league, first league game of the season, and they've got it cancelled because they know the importance of Europe. They know the significance of it. So we've got to play a league game after those. So it's cumulative. So I think that's proper preparation. That's how you win things, and that's how you get through. Fair play to Stephen. They're 10 points clear, so you can probably rotate your squad and so forth. And that's fair play. They put themselves in that position. So we've had to, we can't afford to drop points, so we need to keep winning matches.
Yeah.
So I think it's different, but so that's where we are. But I'm not complaining about that. I think that's the hand you're dealt. So we've got to come through it, and make sure it's all about tomorrow night. Not look too far ahead, really, because you can be 2 down after 10 minutes if you don't psychologically prepare well. Then the tie can be over.
Yeah.
So it's important that you actually gain some control in the game and carry an attacking threat and got speed in the team, so we have every chance.
The bit of pressure that they're under does create an opportunity for you as well, if you can repeat, say, what you did last year against Turkish opposition in Istanbul and keep it tight in the first leg, because if they were to come here with the expectation of a club of the side of Beşiktaş and not win, well, whatever pressure they're under tomorrow night, you can double it going back to Turkey next week. So actually staying in the game, I presume, is the obvious aim of tomorrow night.
Well, there's many ways of viewing it, there's many ways of viewing it, and that's an interesting perspective. you can't dismiss it. But from my point of view, you're looking to do more than that for sure. And we have attacking players who have speed, and definitely, so they can cause any defence trouble on every given day. I suppose we've struggled to score goals a little bit against the lower blocks. We this year, earlier in the year, against the lower blocks, we're not good off crosses, and we certainly have. But against, when teams come out and play us like we actually can penetrate and can cause problems.
Yeah, can you talk a bit about that then, and the league form this season? And would it be fair to say teams figured you out at the start of the year with the run you went on at the end of last season, and how brilliant the wingers were, that there was almost a sense, well, if you can stop that, you do an awful lot to stop Pats? And have you had to sort of try and reinvent things as the season has been ongoing?
It's a big question, I'm not sure I'm going to get a full answer on that one, but I think, listen, we were in not too bad a position up to there. We had that 5-game seat in 14 days, and we fell right off it. Where we, in games that we missed so many chances in, so we only have ourselves to blame in that regard. So we've managed to get back and back on track now. And obviously the European games last year, when I came in last year and we had the European games, that was a catalyst for kicking the season on again. And thankfully we have that again, and those getting through the game against Hegelman, getting through Caldew, a lot of not well-known clubs, every game in Europe, go away to Estonia, go away to Lithuania. They're tough games away from home, and certainly we were delighted to get through them. And now we've earned the right to play Beşiktaş. They are an institution. They're a massive club in Istanbul. They are so well supported throughout Turkey. Ramal Palmer, who plays with us here, he's injured at the moment, obviously this year. He played in Turkey, and he's just said the amount of supporters they have throughout Turkey is he found, he was saying he felt it was more than Galatasaray. Right. It was really a phenomenal amount of support they have, and I felt so that's who's coming tomorrow. For us, we've got to enjoy the game and try and get the result that we need to give ourselves every chance in the second leg.
Just been listening to Mason Melia sitting to chat us through his thoughts on the game. Very calm, very chilled out guy, very comfortable sitting in front of the media. How have you found his development as a person over the past season, but also as a player, and I guess what Spurs are eventually going to get in 6 months' time?
Yeah, we always forget how young he is. When he played last year against Beşiktaş here in the playoff. We got to the playoff last season, the 4th round, and to get into the group, and we had 2 international centre backs playing. He was 16, and he was, he was outstanding that night. And I think that every club in Europe then really realised, you can do it at underage level, or you can do it in their own. But when you do it against any European playoff for the Europa Conference League, it's different against top class opposition. So he's had an injury interrupted year, unfortunately, with an injury to his back that meant he couldn't do a pre-season, come in late, and then some osteopubis. But he's managed to do ever so well. And like everything else, being a young striker, if you don't score for a while, he feels it, and he scored the weekend, a good, very cool finish. So he's buzzing with that, and hopefully he can take that into tomorrow. Obviously
a good number 9 he'll be going up against tomorrow night in Tammy Abraham. I was asking what sort of strikers he looks like, and he mentioned, maybe he was playing to the crowd a little bit, as he said, Harry Kane was one he always looked at. Who do you see him like? As to what type of striker he is, or what type of striker he'll develop into.
Yeah, he is still developing. He's still developing. His left foot, for example, is not as strong as it could be. His heading ability can be inconsistent in the box. So these are things. He's 17, but what he's got is he's got an ability to turn defenders, take it in possession and turn inside or out, and accelerate away from defenders, and run past defenders with the ball. which you don't get that.
Yeah.
That's rare enough. So he uses speed to get away, and he's a threat in the last line, running stretch defences. He's an aggressive presser out of possession. He has good awareness. He knows he's good. He knows he's a good player, which is helps as well.
Yeah.
In terms of for big occasions and things like that. It's important.
He's ready for it.
Yeah, like he's no doubt he's good enough. So he all of that, but it has aspects of his play that he needs to constantly work on to improve.
Right. How do you listen? Probably every under 10 coach around the country has kids who don't want to kick with their left foot. Like, how does that play out? That development of his heading ability, using his left foot more. Is that just on the training ground, or are there certain things you point to, certain players you point to?
Yeah. Listen, it's just practice, isn't it? I think it's practice, and but when you're picking, really, you're asked. I'm only mentioning it because you asked me what areas can he improve to be better. I'm not criticising him. Like, he's been a joy to work with, and he's done brilliantly. And but we're like everything else. Everyone can improve. Yeah. And if you're looking for constant improvement, you must strive to beat it. You asked me who's he like. I actually don't know, and how I can answer that one. He threatens the last line, so. So when you do that, and you've got the height he's got, he's only going to develop physically. In 17 at the moment, so there's so much more to come from him.
I think the Rovers pitch staff must be trying to get the sprinklers on you, remind you where you are. Just before we let you go, obviously, you built so much of your reputation on your achievements in European football and nights like this. When you think back to, 9 years ago now, since maybe Dundalk at their peak in Europe, and maybe Beşiktaş, just never fair to compare when you Google Beşiktaş and it's who they're bidding 20-30 million for this week. Where are we compared to the rest of Europe as a league? Because there's obviously so much good stuff going on, and there's a lot of patting ourselves on the back as to what the league is doing. But in terms of nights like tomorrow night and that gap with Turkish clubs, with even when you're going across to Eastern Europe, where's the league? A decade on almost. Where are the clubs?
Yeah. Well, that's a serious question, because obviously you're dealing with the whole idea of infrastructure, physical infrastructure. For example, we can't play it at home. Physical infrastructure, we've only got 2,500 seats, so full-time academies, full-time infrastructure around that. I think obviously there's big improvements in that. Every club in the Premier Division is full-time now, so that's it. That's raising standards, you feel, and that's important. And a lot of clubs have made great strides, and obviously Shamrock Rovers been in the group stages of the conference last year, Conference League. It's most likely Shelbourne have a good chance now again, haven't they? If league champions definitely have a strong chance, don't they? That's the way it is now. Yeah. It's changed, because I remember, for example, if you want to go on about 9 years ago or whatever, I remember the year after we were in the Europa League, we played Rosenborg in the first round of the Champions League, and they've been in the group stages regularly, and went to 120 minutes away from home. We lost an extra time out in Norway, and you were out first one and you were gone, and that was it. So now you've got to lose three. So it's different, isn't it? You've got to lose 3 times before you're knocked out now, if you win the league. So it's incredible incentive for teams to win the league. I think it's massive, because you've got great, unbelievable opportunities to get through 4 rounds. Is difficult, particularly depending if you get teams like Beşiktaş. You've got to beat them, and then you've got to go win the next one after that. But we've got to try, and we've got to aspire to do it, and certainly we'll give everything of ourselves tomorrow to keep the tie very much alive going into the second leg.
Best of luck with it.
Thank you.